What is a fumble lost penalty in fantasy football? Imagine your star running back is rushing down the field, breaking tackles and gaining yards, but then suddenly drops the ball. If the opposing team recovers that fumble, it can really hurt your fantasy score. That's where the fumble lost penalty comes into play. In fantasy football, a fumble lost is a rule that subtracts points from a player when they lose possession of the football to the other team because of a fumble. Usually, this penalty is around -2 points, but it can vary depending on your league settings. Here's how it works. If a player fumbles the ball and the other team recovers it, the player who fumbled is charged with a fumble lost. That means you get penalized with negative points for that mistake. But if the player fumbles and they or a teammate recover the ball, no penalty is applied. It only counts if the opposing team gains possession after the fumble. This rule mainly applies to offensive players like quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers, but some leagues also include special teams or kick returners. The reason for this rule is to reflect how turnovers can hurt a team's chances of scoring in real life, and it's mirrored in fantasy scoring. When a player loses the ball, it often leads to a scoring opportunity for the other team. So, in your fantasy league, losing points for fumbles encourages you to consider players' ball security. Different leagues may assign different point values for fumble lost penalties. Some might give -2 points, while others could give - for points. It's also important to remember that recovering a fumble does not give any extra points to the team that recovers it, but it does prevent the penalty from being applied to the player who fumbled. When preparing for your draft or managing your team during the season, keep an eye on players who tend to fumble often. Running backs and quarterbacks who handle the ball a lot are at higher risk for losing possession, which can cost you points. So, understanding how the fumble lost penalty works helps you make smarter choices and avoid unnecessary point deductions.